What does it take to be a man? This is December 2025, and we're in an era where a significant portion of our males are unwilling to take the journey to manhood. Why? Why can't males, people with a penis and testes, figure out what it takes to actually become a man? I believe something has been lost in translation over this last generation. I'm 53, so the generation behind me seems to be unclear on what it actually takes and what it involves to be a man. There's a complete generation of grown boys, people over 18, young males over 18, who don't know who they are, no identity, and just clueless about what steps to take to get to manhood. What decisions should I make? What things should I do? So I got 7 baby steps that if you will follow these steps, you can become a man. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are. If you're male, now, if you're confused about your malehood, this is how you find out if you're a male or not. And if God wanted you to be a man, get butt naked, stand in front of the mirror, and if you see a penis and testes, you are a man in the making. You are a man in the making. God intended for you to be a man. And if you will allow me to help you and teach you, I will teach you what you need to know. The first thing you got to do is you got to love God. The Bible says that God breathed the breath of life into man, and man became a living soul. So a soul is something that has life, value, purpose, goals, dreams, visions, ideas. Animals don't have a soul. Animals are only driven by instinct and survival. That's it. We're driven by purpose. God has created you and given you a purpose. I'm 100% certain of that. The reason I know that is you're here. The fact that you're here proves you have a purpose to be here. Loving God allows you to get an understanding of what your purpose is. Because as your creator, he knows exactly what you're supposed to become. I'm talking about exactly. So if you get to know him, you can get to know your purpose. So, number 2, love yourself. Personally, I see a lot of young men destroying their bodies through cigarettes, alcohol, smoking. When I was in college, I drank. I did a lot of dumb, stupid stuff when I was in college. And I had to learn a lot the hard way because I wanted to, fit in, have a good time or what have you. But when you start to understand that this body is a temple of God, you realize, some things don't deserve to go in my body. I have never smoked marijuana because I really do love my body. And I don't want anything to destroy my chances of being successful. Now, I was going to medical school, planning to go to medical school, so I knew that I couldn't smoke a lot of weed because I need all the brain cells that I can get. I ain't all that smart. I needed all the brain cells. I can't afford to kill any brain cells. So I made a decision at 18 to never smoke marijuana. My best friend put a joint right here to my mouth. I was 18 years old, but I have never, ever smoked marijuana in my life because of that resolve, that decision that I made before he put the joint to my mouth. You got to love yourself. You got to have some rules that you live by that everybody else may not live by. You got to dance to your own drum. I've always danced to my own drum. Tell you another story. My best friend got his girlfriend pregnant when we were in high school, right out high school. And I saw what she put him through and all the basically HELL that he had to go through with them not being married. And I said, that's not a good decision. I don't want to go through what he's going through. So I had a point of view, a bird's eye view of what it's like to go through that baby mama drama. Some of you young boys are going through that right now. And I said, at 18, I said, I don't want to have a whole bunch of kids running around. Because I know I want to make a lot of money one day. I want to be wealthy. And I don't want to be having a whole bunch of babies and all my money going to Pookie and Ray Ray now, taking care of baby mama and her other men. So I said, I don't want to do that. I made a lot of mistakes. But some things I had just enough wisdom to see, I don't want to do that because it's going to affect me and impact my life. So love yourself. Love yourself to not put anything in your body that's going to destroy your chances of being successful. Loving yourself will actually help you heal. And when you look in the mirror, you'll be confident in the person that you see because you were created in God's image. God never makes mistakes. Your friends may bully you and talk about you and talk all kind of crazy stuff, but your uniqueness is what gives you value. That's why you got to love yourself. You got to be so in love with the person you see in the mirror that you let nothing and nobody tell you that there's something wrong, that there's something bad, there's something inappropriate about your physical appearance. God created you the way you are. If you got a big nose like me, love it. I love my big nose. It makes me distinguished, unique, different from everybody else. If you don't have no hair, be content. If you got long hair, embrace long hair. Don't try to fit in with other people. That shows that you don't love yourself because you're trying to fit in. The third thing, upgrade your appearance. How you look says a lot. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So people always will judge you based on how you look. If you dress like a thug, talk like a thug, and look like a thug, everybody's going to think you're a thug. And you could be you could be the president of the bank, but your appearance says a lot about you. So upgrade your appearance. Your hair should say, I'm a man. Your fingernails should always be clean. Your teeth and brush should always smell good and teeth should be brushed. Your clothing should say, I am somebody. When we went to college, I went to University of Southern Mississippi in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and we dressed up when we went to college. We didn't dress like thugs and like we were thrown away or trash. We didn't dress homeless. We dressed like we were going somewhere, like we were doing something, like we had purpose, and like we knew that there's something inside of me that's great. That's how we dress. So upgrade your appearance because people are going to treat you based on how you look. Whether you like this or not, whether you agree or not, people treat you how you look. The fourth thing, learn to earn. You got to get your hand on some money. You don't have to go to college like I did and become a doctor, but you need to take a trade or you need to learn some skill that people will pay you for. Or you can sit in the corner and cry racism, poverty, and cry all this other stuff, but these things are just smoke and mirrors. They're not real. People pay for value. If you increase your value, people will pay you for your value. Once you get your hand on money, you got to learn money management. That's number 5. Managing money is a skill that I believe our American school system has failed in teaching us as American kids. Nobody really knows how to manage money unless somebody teaches them or unless you make the decision to learn yourself. Dave Ramsey has a great program on managing money. He is about getting out of debt. He's also about investing in yourself and creating a business that will pay you. So he has a great program. There are a lot of other programs. There are a lot of apps on your phone that you can put on there to keep track of your money. That's the first step, is getting a budget or a spending accountability system. That's how you really learn how to manage money. The 6th thing is maturing emotionally. I was talking to a police officer recently, and he told me that many of good guys are in prison today because they could not manage their emotions. They actually allowed one small error in judgment, one emotional outburst, dictate their whole life. Man, he disrespected me. Man, he did this. He said this. He said something to my girl. He did this. And one little situation turned into a life of consequences. So before you make your decisions, look at the consequences. What is it going to do to that other person if you shoot them? What is it going to do to their family? What is it going to do to their children? What is it going to do to you and your family? How are your children going to make out with you being in prison for 30 years? How is your wife, your spouse, your family going to make out? How's your mother going to make out? So thinking of the consequences will help you decide, is this a good decision or not? We live in a day where people aren't afraid of death. People are just shooting and killing left and right. And there's no really thought process that goes in it. You got to start thinking before you do something. Number 7, serve by giving back and helping somebody. You got to help somebody. It's not all about you. Stop being so selfish. Stop being so prideful and realize that life is not about you. Yes, you have purpose, but your purpose is to help people. Your purpose is to help somebody become who they need to become. And in the process, you become the person you always should be. I believe everybody has a purpose from God. And everybody can do something to the absolute perfection and better than somebody else. That's what makes the kingdom work. That's what makes the kingdom function and successful, is that we all are part of God's kingdom and we bring something to the table. So you serve by giving back and helping somebody. So recap: love God, love yourself, upgrade your appearance, learn to earn, learn money management, mature emotionally, and serve someone. This is my little video for today. How to be a man. Tune in to the next one. Thank you. Appreciate it. Check out my book, Grown Boys. It's coming out in April 2026.